sommes ici à la station de police d'Orléans pour aller rencontrer le constable Evraire et lui poser des questions sur l'alcool et comment elle affecte son milieu de travail. So we're here today at the Alcool Police station with Constable Evraire, and we're going to ask a few questions about intoxication and how it affects him in his line of work. So I'm going to ask first, how frequent are your encounters with intoxicated people?
Okay, well, in average we work 7 days in a period of 2 weeks, and every shift is around 10.5 hours. When we work our day shifts, we don't encounter them that much, but our afternoon shifts, well, let's just say starting from 5:30 at night till about 3:30 in the morning, I say we probably have at least 5 to 10 calls every shift related to alcohol.
That's a quite high number. And what are the reoccurrences you find with the age group? So let's say the younger crowd, maybe the older crowd?
Well, the younger crowds, the problem with the younger crowds is that Fridays, Saturdays, sometimes Thursdays, during the week a lot, but during the weekends you'll find a lot of parties. People, parents leave and kids have house parties, high school kids have house parties, a lot of underage drinking. It happens inside the house. What happens is inside the house we don't get too many complaints unless it's loud and stuff, but people mostly control that. What happens is when they leave the house, they're in the streets. They're walking around the streets. And what happens when I find with my experience as a younger age, when you're drinking and you're in the streets, then you do stupid things. Alcohol makes you do stupid things. It makes you brave, it makes you emotional. We get a lot of mischief to property. We get a lot of complaints on buses. We get a lot of neighbor complaints saying that things are smashed at their houses. And we get a lot of people who actually drink too much and then ambulance are involved. And it sucks because we show up on call and there's a 14, 15, 16-year-old laying down who drank too much. And
so it's just their first times, usually at that age, trying it?
Sometimes it's their first time. Sometimes there's peer pressure. Sometimes they don't want to drink. Sometimes they're with friends and their friends say, try this, and they drink a lot. And these days, I mean, it's not a secret that a lot of people are smoking marijuana, doing some weed and some other drugs, sometimes ecstasy. And when they mix it with alcohol, it's very dangerous. Okay, and then you don't know the effects of what it's going to do to your body unless you try it. And once you try it, some people act differently. You'll get a teenage kid that's 16 years old and he's 300 pounds, and you'll get someone that's 125 pounds. If they drink the same amount of alcohol, it's going to be a different reaction to everybody.
Also, what age do you believe people should start, when you believe it's mature enough to drink? Are you completely against, say, a teenager would start drinking at 16, or would you recommend to wait till the legal drinking age of 19, or what's your view on that?
Well, I think, to be honest, I mean, I can talk as a police officer, I can talk as someone, who's grown up, and I mean, I won't lie to you, I mean, at the age of 16, I'd be lying to say if I didn't, have a beer or whatever. I think every individual, it varies, right? It depends on the maturity level, on what they do, when they drink, who they're with. At the end of the day, if you want to go to a bar, I believe that the age is right, and I even think that should even raise the age a little bit higher. If you're drinking inside your house with your family members and you have a glass of wine and you're under the age of 19 in Ontario, I mean, if you're responsible and you're drinking with someone,
moderated,
a family member that bought it for you and you're not an idiot, then at the end of the day, like, who knows, right? It varies with every person, but seeing the stuff I see out there and seeing that you can get licensed at 16 years old, 17 years old, you're driving. I definitely think that's too young to drink, especially if you can drive. Because I've been to a lot of accidents where people think they're fine, but they're not. And it takes 1 or 2 beers to impair your driving, especially when you're young and inexperienced, you don't have a lot of driving experience, you mix that all together, and I've seen accidents, I've went to accidents where people have died. And to ask me now with the experience I've had, I think the age should be 21 years old, and I even think the age of driving should go a little bit higher now because of what I've seen in the cars that they have today.
And is that what you find usually in the older crowds, maybe, like the people who are more 30, 20, start getting more experience with alcohol, they take higher risks just because they think they can? Or?
Yeah, I think when you're between the ages of, like, let's just say 21 up to 50 years old, I think what you do is, I think that you're comfortable drinking and you know how your body reacts, but I also think that you take advantage of that. And you get a lot of impaired drivers. They go to the bar, they go to a hockey game, a football game, baseball game, they have a few drinks in the parking lot. It's a social thing, they're doing it together, and then they drive. At the end of the day, there's a reason why there's an alcohol limit imposed on people who drive, because it really, really impedes your driving and you can kill someone. At the end of the day, people don't realize the effects it has on one's life. one person gets in an accident, they injure someone else, they kill someone else, you've just affected 2 lives.
You're not just harming yourself, right?
No, you're harming everyone involved, and it's a stupid thing. And I'm telling you right now with experience, it's people think they're fine after having a couple of beers, a couple of drinks, a couple of glasses of wine, whatever it is. It's not safe. And I think the older you get, sometimes you get a little bit more stupid. You know, at least if you're young, you're scared a little bit. When you're old, I think you're a little bit braver. And I think that hurts.
And can you give us an example of one of the worst problems you've had to encounter that involved alcohol?
I've been to a car accident with kids that died. Alcohol involved. That's just an age group. I've been to homes where husbands and wives have beaten each other up because of alcohol. I've been to a call where I've taken a child away from a family because the child was beaten up. A child that's under the age of 1 year old. And I bring to Children's Aid Society because father and mother were both hammered. I mean, I can give you 1,000 different examples of what I've done in the past 7 years. It doesn't stop, and alcohol is a problem. I mean, at the end of the day, you look on the bright side. It's a thing you take. It's a social thing, and it makes people brave. And it also screws with people's emotions. It's a dangerous thing. It's a drug. It's not banned by the government because they make money off it. They make money. They make millions of dollars off it. The thing is that
we're putting others in harm. So you believe there should be stricter laws then?
At the end of the day, you can put laws all you want, but alcohol is available. Yeah. And as long as it's available, people are going to get in trouble with it, right?
So the solution is maybe more to be sensible.
Well, the solution is like as a police force, we're trying to get drivers. We're trying to stop them from drinking and driving. The tolerance of alcohol has gone down. Now it's an average about a beer, depending on your body weight, but 0.80 milligrams per 100 milliliters of blood, which is about a beer on an average human being who drinks occasionally. If the tolerance was 0, maybe it would help out. At the end of the day,
just not take risks.
And if it was publicized more, the problem with this too is that it's so hard when you go to court to win a case, an impaired case. There's so many little different things that you have to make sure it's perfect. So you get a really good lawyer that's really expensive. They're going to try to find a mistake somewhere that you've done, and they're going to get off scot-free. So people who have a lot of money, they drink and drive, they know that, and they take advantage of it, and they get off scot-free. So it's a double-edged sword for us. We arrest and then they get off. At the end of the day, there's not a lot of we can do. We're trying our best to do, but alcohol is alcohol. It's always going to be a problem if someone abuses it. If you're the right age and you do it for the right reasons and you're with the right people and you do it, it could be a social thing. But at the end of the day, people abuse different things, and this is something that people abuse. They'll always do it.
So regarding roadside sobriety tests, would you mind just showing us an example, maybe how it's administered?
Sure. So what happens is, so this is a device that will measure your blood content, your alcohol per blood content. Okay, and what happens is it shows up. I'm not sure if you can see. So it'll once it gets ready, it'll just warm up here. So it warms up, and if I have reasonable probable grounds that someone has been drinking on the road and I detect alcohol, they tell me they've had a drink, whatever, this is what I carry within my car. So if someone blows more than 0.80 milligrams, this will read an F for fail. Tolerance
is 0, however, for younger than 20, right?
That's right. If they blow anything that's 0 point anything, you can get in trouble for driving. Under 0.050 is going to be a warning. So it'll give you either an A for alert, meaning it's a warning, or an F for fail. And I'm gonna demonstrate once it's ready there. So these things are all sealed up. So what we do is we pull up from the seal, and once it's ready, the green light will go on. What it's doing now is just calibrating itself. So it takes about sometimes a minute. It depends if it's cold outside or not. We'll just wait and see what happens there. And if someone fails, they have to go to the station, and they have to meet a breath technician, a qualified breath technician who have a big machine, and they do the same thing over again with a more complicated machine, and then this will give us better results in exact readings. If someone blows over 2.00 whatever, I won't know. I'll just know they blew more than 0.80. So this will give me the right to bring them to.
So say someone blows a .80 by the time he gets to the station, whatever complications, does it ever happen? Did they have time to sober up and they just get away with it?
Yeah, they can absolutely sober up. These are calibrated a little higher than .80. The tolerance is .80. They're calibrated probably about at 100.
Okay.
We consider the fact that they're going to go to the station, they're probably blow a little under. So at the end of the day, we're not doing this to make people fail. We're doing this to make sure that there's no drunk drivers on the road. So it says 0. You get your 3 little lines, and what I have to do is I have to blow consistently, and you're going to hear a noise. So the noise stopped, and you can see the reading here says .000. So I've had absolutely nothing to drink, which is good, because if I lose my job, and this wouldn't be on the video, but at the end of the day, this is what I want to see on the road. Okay? And if you want to give it a try, this is a clean mouthpiece. You can open it up. And what I do is I just recalibrate it, go to 0. It won't take that long anymore.
Warmed up.
Yeah, and if anybody blows an A, I mean, sometimes you brush your teeth, you have toothpaste, you're eating gum, it may screw a little bit with it, but it would still give you a 0 at the end of the day. Like it's a very good machine. So I'll let you try it and see what I would do on the road. And if you blow an A, depending on your driving record or how old you are, or whatever, it can vary. You can lose your license. Your car can get towed.
And what's the process once they blow? So do they come with you in your?
Well, what I'll do is I'll read them the roadside demand, and then I'll get them to sit at the car, and then I'll get them to blow. So all you want to do is blow consistently, not stopping, and I'll coach them. I'll say blow, 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 keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. About 4 seconds left, keep it up, good job. Okay, you can stop. So now you pull your little thing away, and then you can see it administered perfect roadside because it's 0.00, and this is what we want to see. Okay. At the end of the day, unfortunately, I don't get a lot of these because if I have the reasonable probable grounds that someone has been drinking, most likely they're not going to blow a 0.00, or I won't even administer the test. Unfortunately, this doesn't work for drugs, for marijuana, or for any other kind of drugs, but we have drug recognition officers that we can call, and they can do sobriety road tests. And with that, they can determine whether you've been smoking marijuana, doing drugs. So that's been incorporated in the last year or so, and now hopefully we can get drivers that are a little bit stoned.
Well, thanks a lot.
No problem. Thank you.